And Miguel said, bump all that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care about none of that. I don't care if it's bad, if it's mediocre. I just need some. Right now. He's coming across real sleazy. Like, no respect for women. None. Especially his wife. I've been watching, and I know you've been watching too. So come peep this. Hi, my peep fam. Welcome to Come Peep This. I miss series, and I do not miss a series. I am the Married at First Sight expert. I've been here since season 1, episode 1. I have my master's in psychology, so we're going to use some psychology, a whole lot of humor, and of course some common sense to get through these reviews. Married at First Sight, season 15, episode 5. Let's get it. Miguel and Lindy. So Miguel and Lindy, they're talking, and we find out that Lindy's been engaged before. It was her first love. That's also the first person that she was ever with. So I'm like, okay. And then Mitch starts, not Mitch. Oh my goodness. I gotta get Miguel, because Miguel is giving Mitch vibes. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna get into it. Miguel is definitely giving Mitch vibes. So that wasn't too big of a mistake right there. Miguel. He said he usually ends the relationship after, 3 months. He feels like something is missing. So what happened to him saying that he always getting cheated on, or the other person has the problem? Right here he says, after 3 months, I usually end it. What happened to you? So after 3 months, that's how long it takes you to figure out that, we have some things misaligned. They are already misaligned. You're just trying to get in where you fit in. I don't... Ooh, Miguel. Compared to where we at episode 5 versus episode 1 and 2, I'm like, ooh, Miguel really showing his true colors. Some of them, keep it low key until they just can't. Even though we still on the honeymoon, this is the 5th episode, and Miguel is showing a totally different side of his personality, especially on this episode. He's showing Miguel. He said, let me show you. Yeah, me and my sister, we both the same type of person. Let me give it to you. Lindy says, that information, that terrifies me. And all he said is, yeah. He offers no comfort. That's something that you should work on, is get into relationships wasting 3 months of a person's time before you realize, I really don't like you that much. And then Lindy even told the producer, yeah, that sounds harsh. That's harsh. Yes, it is. That's not a nice thing to do. So they're at dinner, and Miguel says, they're talking, and Miguel says, and I quote, "Why are you so young?" And then Lindy literally repeats the joke back to him, says, "Why are you so old?" And Miguel got pissed. His whole face just snapped. The change was so abrupt. His face got hard. It was scary, okay? It was such a quick and sharp change in his demeanor. It was absolutely alarming. From her just repeating to him what he just said to her. He was composed because he realized where he was at the camera. Everything is going on. It was no doubt in my mind that he was absolutely pissed. So you can say something to her, but she can't repeat it back to you, even in a joking way. She sensed the change in demeanor, so she tried to clean it up. Yeah, so you can teach me. You just have to. She responded as if she said, that's what made me mad. She responded as if she said something wrong, when she literally just said the same thing back to him in a very playful manner that he just said to her. But he wanted her to apologize. Like, you heard him. Whoo, y'all. I don't know. Miguel said when he was 10, his parents got divorced. They moved to Puerto Rico. He said, and I quote, "I look Puerto Rican, but I didn't speak Spanish." That was a weird thing to say to me, because you are Puerto Rican. I had the dark skin. I had the eyes. You're describing yourself. You are Puerto Rican. Am I mistaken? For you to say, I look Puerto Rican. He should have just focused on the fact that he moved to a new place and he didn't speak the language. That was so weird for him to be like, I had all the features of a Puerto Rican. Because you are Puerto Rican. I don't get that. That's like me saying, I had all the features of a black woman. My beautiful chocolate skin. Why would I even point that out in the story? I would say, oh, I didn't speak Swahili. That would be the story. But you to go in how you that self-identity crisis. He even called it that. But he referred to a self-identity crisis of like, where do I fit in because I don't speak the language? I'm saying how you're not identifying as what you actually are. Ethnic, your ethnicity. Ethnic-wise. That was weird. I'm like, ooh, Miguel. You got to go seek help on that. You got to go seek. That was I want y'all to peep that. Go back and listen to the way he described it. He described himself as being part of a culture, but as if he wasn't part of it. Go back. Trust me. Go back, and I want y'all to peep that. He said that's when he really got into, comic books and video games and everything. And then he gets into his mother battled with mental disease and how grown up he didn't understand. And Lindy was being, super supportive and complimentary towards his whole story. So I was like, okay, that's good. They were doing very good active listening. She always listens to him. So she, was really supportive, of what his childhood was and what he had to go through. On the other hand, when Lindy started telling her story about how her dad actually divorced her mom, Miguel did not have any of the same sentiment. His response to it, there was no reciprocation from this man, no reassurance. It's all about Miguel. Even after this deep, meaningful conversation, Lindy had to stand up and kiss him. He leaning back in his chair, he just chilling. She had to stand up and kiss him. So they're at the pool, and just side note, once again, he's laid back and he has his leg, over hers. Why don't you get your big old hairy man leg off of hers? Let her put her leg on you. Anyway. And Miguel is pressuring her into having sex. I mean, there's no way about it. He's pressing her. He's pressuring her like the star quarterback does in the Lifetime movie to the cheerleader. I mean, it's giving Lifetime movie pressuring at this point. It's only been 4 days. And he says that, he makes moves, but she shuts him down. I be persistent with it, but, she shuts me down. He says, there's other ways in which my needs are getting met. Lindy, hear me. You do not want this to be a Clara and Ryan situation because rumors are already swirling about Miguel. You do not want this to be a Clara and Ryan situation to where you're giving and not receiving. To where your giving is a requirement. And to don't do it because that was weird. That was weird then, so don't want your situation to get weird. We don't want your situation to get weird. Then Miguel makes a series of sacrilegious jokes, and I didn't like it. Lindy didn't like it. My thing is, if you're not going to be religious, don't speak about it. At this point, we've heard Miguel speak about religion more than, or reference religion more than her or her brother. Is he's going to be watching us? Why? Don't make jokes like that. If it's not your thing, fine. Don't make fun of it. Did she say when you're into your cosplay, oh, am I going to have to beat you up and take your lunch money? Oh, that would have been hurtful for you. That would have been, poked at your identity crisis. So don't make her religious views, her religious upbringing a joke. Because we see how you reacted at the slightest joke. So don't make her religious views a joke and then make eye contact to see how she responds. Miguel's a jerk. I don't like Miguel. Ooh. I thought Miguel was going to be Josean. Like, oh, okay. Like, no. Miguel is Mitchin. Surprisingly. I'm amazed. I was so, I was kind of crushing over Miguel the first. I'm like, okay, look at Miguel. He's so cute. No, he's not. He's not anymore. At all. Okay, so Lindy, she says she wants her intimacy to mean something. Miguel said, forget all about that. Forget about that. It's just a physical act. I'm attracted to you. Let's get it in. He completely dismisses the importance of intimacy with his wife. Completely dismisses it. Now, when two people in a marriage have totally different views about a particular thing, in this case, let's say sex, if it's more important to the other person, that's where you go with. If it's more of a significant issue, then that's what you go with. In this case, intimacy is a significant issue, is a significant thing for Lindy. Miguel, he can care less. He like, hey, let's get in. I don't care how it is. Let's get it in now. So he would have to migrate over to her point of view because it's something that she feels passionately about. She feels strongly about. And you is just like, hey, whatever. You know, he's just like, his views about how he's pressing this girl and it threw me. It threw me, y'all. I was not expecting it. He's a horn dog. He's a horn dog going through an identity crisis that wears, you know, costumes. Him and his old wide mouth sister, they can go sit down somewhere together and hold hands, interlock fingers. Don't get Miguel, do better. Do better, Miguel. Okay, so he was acting as if you want me to be attracted to you, then we need to be intimate. Peep that. That's basically what he's saying. Oh, that's how it is for me. He's basically saying, if you want me to be attracted to you, then you need to give me some. You need to do that. I know that sounds, you know, misogynistic. No, it sounds creep mode. Yuck. Disgusting. Tomatoes. So Miguel said, let me give you a massage. So he's massaging her. And he said, oh, don't watch this boner. What makes me so mad about Miguel or so disappointed in Miguel is that he's the good guy, right? He presents as a good guy, but he's really the jerk. And any woman will tell you that's always the worst. Mitch is a jerk. He presents as a jerk. He doesn't hide the fact that he's a jerk. He is described openly as a jerk. Miguel's sister, oh, he's a selfless romantic. In his little meet the cast interview, he was a sweetie pie, right? I was worried about Lindy taking advantage of him. I was worried about Lindy taking advantage of him. Miguel is a jerk. Miguel was all, oh, you know, they just leave, they just cheat on me. And now, you know, his friends like, you know, you give people so many chances. You know, you're such a good person. He's like, yeah, I know. I think, and I said this in video 2. I said, I think he presents one way to his friends and family and a different way in a relationship. Watch this boner. What? And Lindy just giggling through it because it makes her uncomfortable. In my opinion, I felt like she was uncomfortable. Let me just giggle. Miguel is telling the guys, okay, so Ben and Morgan, they finally make it there. I'm not reviewing Ben and Morgan this season. I mean, not this season. This episode, because not enough happened. They need to catch up. I'm not going over wedding morning after stuff. Nope. So, you know, maybe next week. So Miguel is talking to all the guys on the boat, and he's telling them like, hey, you know, our lack of intimacy has been a point of friction. That's his word, a friction point in our relationship. It's a problem that in 4 days of knowing me, she hadn't gave me none. It's a problem. And then I was so proud of all the other guys. I think maybe even Mitch chimed in. Maybe they was like, no, you need to get to know her better. Like it's always so much better when you know the person, when there's an emotional connection. Everybody's not. And Miguel said, bump all that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care about none of that. I don't care if it's bad, if it's mediocre. I just need some right now. He's coming across real sleazy. Like no respect for women. None. Especially his wife. Especially Lindy. No respect for her. I don't care how she feels about it. I don't care if it's mediocre. I just need to get this off. I need to relieve this pressure. Then he goes on to say, oh, well, you know, as long as I'm getting it, basically. As long as I'm getting it, then, you know, it don't really matter. That's my focus. That's my priority. And this whole, you know, experience of getting to know someone, getting married, I don't want to make sure that we smashing ASAP. I need to know what them cookies do. This Miguel talking. The one that wears his heart on his sleeve. Yeah, right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, let's get it.